Hey everybody, it's great to have you here with us today. Thank you for joining us. This is VNJ Reviews. This is Vin.
And this is Joe.
On this episode, we need to do our due diligence in looking at the fact that Goku and Vegeta are rising so fast that it's likely many and most and maybe even us are greatly and drastically underestimating the power, including the bases, that both of these fighters now have. What we're talking about here is the fact that Saiyans are always increasing their fighting power, especially as they are fighting. And the more powerful fighters they face, the more their power increases. And the important part of this for a Saiyan is really their base power, because a lot of the energy, a lot of the multiplication, a lot of the transformation comes from the base energy. How strong is their base? And that's going to lend to their other forms being stronger as well. There is so much going on here in this tournament of power as far as fighting and the power levels of these fighters, that the strength that Vegeta and Goku are growing by is just immense, and it's really hard to quantify what it is, especially like we said when you're scaling these things, because their power levels are always growing. How much did their base just go up by in the last 5 episodes? It's very difficult to say, but there's a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that both of these guys might be far more powerful now than we even realize. I mean, talking about their blue form when Goku originally fought Jiren, and now he's fighting him in the same blue form. Of course, you could say, well, his stamina was low then or whatever, but putting that aside, he is far stronger now than he was before, and that is looking at the fact of the fights he's going through. So there's a lot to say about this.
In this last episode, if we actually look at what Jiren is doing and how he's fighting against Goku and Vegeta, he's actually having to defend himself a lot more against their punches. And as they're actually punching him, he actually at one point falls down. This is only the second time that we've actually seen Jiren fall on the ground itself. The other time was when Vegeta used his final flash. And when he gets back up, he actually states, both your strikes are sharper. So right now, they are getting sharper. And this is especially interesting for Goku because we know Goku is just in Kaioken. It isn't anything before that Jiren hasn't seen where he went into Kaioken. So it's like, how is his attacks sharper now in Kaioken than it was a few episodes ago when they first fought? It's because they're getting these boosts that is just unbelievable. They just are gaining exponentially, and we really haven't seen gains like this, I feel, since like the Frieza saga, where they were just getting Zenkai boosts just everywhere and being able to keep up with even Frieza, who should have been on a totally different level than him. This is just the way that Saiyans are. They just keep on getting stronger, and they're facing the strongest enemy they've ever had, somebody who's on a totally different level than them. And by facing somebody who's even stronger than they are, their Zenkai boosts are even greater. That we do know that they get stronger the stronger the opponent they're facing, and Jiren is that guy who's going to just keep on pushing their Zenkai boosts and their power to the next level.
And Jiren probably doesn't even realize this, but the fact that he is overwhelmingly outclassing these two works against him in many ways, because the degree by which he outclasses them in power is really the degree by which their Saiyan abilities rise. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about calculating and scaling their base power. If they were just fighting somebody who was the same power level that they were, well, their bases would increase, but, not by much. They are fighting an enemy right now, a force that is so much more powerful than them, that they will naturally respond in their Saiyan abilities by raising their power to meet that challenge. And this is going on over and over and over. In fact, how many times are we seeing Goku now and Vegeta basically being knocked down to no energy and coming back? I mean, Jiren just one-shotted Vegeta after the final flash, and now Vegeta's back. What kind of boost is that? That's an insane boost that he gets. Jiren did the same thing to Goku as well. So it's hard to quantify the boost that they're getting, but what we can see in the context of the anime is, especially looking at Goku, because now Vegeta has this new form, so it's really hard to say how much of it is the new form and how much of it is the boosts, although it's clear a lot of it is the boosts. But Goku is fighting Jiren in the same form he fought him before. You remember the first time that Goku fought Jiren? He went Kaioken times 10 and Kaioken times 20, and Goku made a statement that this is doing no damage to Jiren. Now Goku's in his blue form Kaioken. I didn't even hear him say 10 or 20, so I don't even know what kind of Kaioken it is. It's just a regular Kaioken. And of course, yeah, Vegeta is fighting along with him, but he makes a statement that both of their attacks, they're refining their attacks. They're becoming sharper. So against a guy like Jiren, who is overwhelmingly powerful, this means something, and it can only mean that both of their bases are growing, and it's hard to say how immensely they are growing, especially against the caliber of fighters that they have been facing in this tournament, especially considering the number of times they have been broken down to almost no power and have risen back up to fight once again. Looking at the enemy and the force in front of them, considering their Saiyan abilities. Again, it's hard to quantify it, but there is no doubt that both of their bases are rising incredibly here, which makes it difficult to scale this because I'm seeing the blue power being pushed higher and higher and higher, and it's getting close. The blue is getting close towards a possible low-end God tier level. I'm not going to say it's there yet, but it's getting up there. And you have to agree it's getting up there based off of the way that they're facing Jiren, who is easily well into the God tier power. And that can only be because their powers are rising so dramatically as they're fighting, and Joe said even getting these Zenkai boosts and their energy being depleted, one-shotted, coming back, one-shotted, coming back. I mean, it's crazy. And we needed to talk about this. We don't know really how to scale it per se because it's just growing so quickly. It's impossible to actually scale it, but it's happening and it needs to be said, and it's really cool to watch it going on.
Yeah, at one point we will definitely try to scale this once all the dust is settled and we get all the information from this tournament is over. We'll probably do something like a post-tournament where everybody falls at that point, because there is going to be some differences here after all this is done. But it's fun to actually watch this happen and see it happen. They're really trying to take it to Jiren, and they're definitely getting stronger. And we'll see them keep on surpassing their limits, and we'll continue to keep an eye on where we think they are. Hopefully we get a lot of information and we can scale this correctly.
And we know that you guys have a lot of thoughts on this too, especially when it comes to the base power and how that rises with Saiyan. So go ahead and leave us your comment below. What do you think is happening with their power? How high do you think it's going? What's happening to their God form blue levels, especially even Goku, because he still has the regular God form blue? And talking a little bit about Vegeta too, where is he? We would love to hear your thoughts on this. Please go ahead and leave a comment below. As always, if you have not subscribed to the channel up until yet, but you enjoy listening to the channel, just hearing something a little different, something new, sort of a new style or a different style than what's out there right now, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. We would love to have you come along with us and put on those notifications as well. As always, we hope you enjoyed this one. This is Vinny.
And this is Joe.
We will, of course, see you next time.